and welcome to another episode of Seed Speaks. My name is Alex Martin, and I am the editor of Seed World magazine, and today I'm absolutely thrilled to be your host. Now, if you've been watching Seed Speaks lately, you know that we've been in the thick of it talking about innovations that move the needle, but more specifically, we've been highlighting some innovations from our Seed World's 10 most innovative products. Last week, my coworker, Mark Zinkowitz of Germination magazine chatted with Mo Soy and BASF, but today we're kind of looking in a different direction. Specifically, we're turning our heads a little bit more to talk about seed traits. But I don't want to hog the mic today, and we have two fantastic guests waiting, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, my first guest of the day is Chad Shelton, who is Global Proprietary Products Director at Albaugh LLC. And Chad is joining us today to talk about a special product created by Albaugh in tandem with the California Cooperative Rice Research Foundation. And that product is ROXY RPS. So Chad, can you give us a little bit of the skinny about ROXY? I'm sure that's not just a female's name. I'm sure it means something else.
Well, first and foremost, it's a pleasure to be here today to talk with you about the ROXY rice production system. And yeah, the ROXY rice production system is unique. It's a brand new technology that's going to be offered to growers. And what's exciting about it is it was actually developed and is an inspiration from growers. It's a true combination of innovation, performance, and value. And one of the things that we like to focus in on with the ROXY rice production system is it's going to give rice growers a new mode of action that is based upon a non-GMO trait. And this technology is going to help them address both broadleaf and grassy weeds, including resistant biotypes, such as group 1 herbicides and group 2 herbicides that are resistant. The ROXY rice production system is actually going to use a group 14 mode of action that has very broad spectrum activity on both grasses and broadleafs. And it's currently something that's not used, nor do they have access to a group 14 that delivers both grass and broadleaf control in a rice production system. So that's really what's exciting about this technology from a ROXY rice production system standpoint.
Well, thank you so much. And can kind of tell me and walk me through what spurred this collaboration specifically with the California Cooperative Rice Research Foundation?
Well, this is actually Albaugh's second collaborative partnership with a grower-based organization. We actually are also collaborating with the Colorado Wheat Research Foundation on a wheat trait that was delivered into the marketplace over 3 years ago. And our collaboration with the California Cooperative Rice Research Foundation is basically combining the innovation and technology and R&D that they provide, and Albaugh is bringing to the table the expertise for the partnership on the herbicide registration and then the delivery of the herbicide-tolerant rice production system into the marketplace.
That's fantastic. It's always exciting to hear about new collaborations that can produce new products, especially when it comes to meeting a grower demand. So I know you've mentioned that ROXY is a rather unique product as it's a combination of two different genes that you said specifically rice growers have been asking for. What else has been making this product unique for customer use?
What's really exciting about the ROXY rice production system is this is a technology that was inspired, it was developed, it was financed by the growers in the state of California. And so they actually recognized a need based upon weed resistance, based upon their financial aspirations of having a technology that they could use as a tool to address weed resistance, not only today, but in the future. And so what's really unique and novel about this is the first grower-owned rice trait. And they invested their time and money and intellect to actually derive this system. And now that's resulted in a grower-owned patented trait that's non-GMO that will allow them to have a new rice herbicide production system that's called the ROXY rice RPS.
Perfect. And kind of tell me, I I know this has this is a cool trait that growers are looking at. Specifically, you mentioned for weed resistance for rice growers. Now, I know we probably have some people in our audience who aren't who don't know about weed resistance, particularly in rice. So, what are growers kind of facing resistance wise right now?
Well, today growers are faced with pretty broad spectrum group 1 and group 2 resistance, both in grasses and broadleaves. Those two modes of action have been very, very functional modes of actions for rice producers and other crops where those modes of action have been used. Unfortunately, because of the utilization of them over the last 20, 25 years, we've developed resistance in several species of grasses, and we've also developed broadleaf weed resistance, both to group 1 and group 2 herbicides. What we're delivering with the ROXY rice production system is a group 14 mode of action that's going to give us control of grasses and broadleaves. But what's unique about this technology is the opportunity to actually control weeds early in the life cycle in the production of rice. Therefore, it's going to give us better return on investment for your herbicide spend, and it's going to give us enhanced yield opportunities.
That's absolutely fantastic. And that is what the customers are looking for all the time, is just a better return on the investment. And I think that sounds fantastic. So what else are you most excited for when it comes to ROXY RPS? Like, what's one thing you would want a grower who might not be familiar with it to know?
Well, I think probably the most important thing about all technology, and the ROXY rice production system is no different, we have to focus in on stewardship, because what we're seeing today is the ROXY rice production system is a result of a collaboration and an investment by rice growers to develop a tool for their needs. And we're going to have to focus on stewardship. Technology, as we see it today, especially for markets like rice, are going to be limited in the future. And so when we come up with new technologies and innovative technologies like the ROXY rice production system, we have to steward them. So probably the most important message that we need to communicate to growers is we're going to be delivering over the next few years a technology that is based upon 4 principles. That first one is it's a grower-owned patented trait that happens to be non-GMO, which is very important. We're delivering a group 2 herbicide, our group 14 herbicide, that'll give us activity on resistant weeds, but we have to make sure we manage that so that we have that over a long period of time. Number 3 is we have to take this trait and integrate it into germplasm that are regionally adapted and that are elite. So if we're going to be raising the ROXY rice in Arkansas, we have to engage the elite partners in that area to bring this trait into their germplasm to be successful. And then number 4, which I led off with, is stewardship. For us to be successful, not only in the short term, but in the long term, we have to focus on stewardship and making sure that we're rotating modes of actions and the use of this technology so that the growers have access to it over a long period of time.
No, you're absolutely right. I know stewardship is something that everyone really has on the top of their mind, whether or not we're talking about rice to corn to soybeans. So you're right, I think, to highlight that producing new modes of action in the end just keeps our tools fresh for the toolbox.
That's right.
Yeah. So very final question for you today, Chad. I mean, there's so many technologies out there. Just on Seed Speaks in the past 4 weeks, we've gone on talking about digital technology to seed treatments to new seed traits. So when you look at the future of ag, what do you see as being a game-changing technology that you're excited about?
Well, I think from my perspective and from an Albaugh perspective, we're focused on innovation. And if you think about, from our standpoint, what innovation is an improvement or an enhancement to the original invention. And if you think about innovation, this being ROXY rice production system is a really good example of that, because we're taking a 30-year-old active ingredient herbicide, and prior to the vision by the California rice growers, this herbicide would have killed rice. And through innovation, now it's going to be used as a tool to control weeds in rice. And so from my perspective, it's about innovation, and it's about empowering growers and anybody who has a need to be able to take innovation and develop things that answer questions and needs. And so what I'm excited about is Albaugh's focus in and the industry's focus in on innovation, so that when a grower asks a question, can we do this? Or can we use this herbicide to control this weed? In the past, the answer might have been, well, we don't think so. But with successful launches of technologies like the ROXY rice production system, it's going to give new hope to the industry to be able to repurpose active ingredients that in the past might have killed that crop, but moving forward with innovation might be used as a tool to help address a grower need. So my answer to that is this technology creates an opportunity and hope for additional innovation opportunities for the entire market. And I think we'll be successful because the growers have needs and they're willing to address them through their investments.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Chad. We just wanted to congratulate you one more time on your win of a 10 Most Innovative Product Award. But now we're going to turn our head to another product that I mentioned, specifically from Bayer. This is the XtendFlex soybeans, which launched this past summer. Joining us today to talk more about XtendFlex is Brandy Cullen, who is the Soy Traits Marketing Manager of Bayer. So thank you so much for joining us today, Brandy. It's great to have you on. And can you start by telling us a little bit more about XtendFlex and why Bayer saw a need for this new soybean trait?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. So XtendFlex soybeans, they're the industry's first triple stacked soybean trait. So that means it has tolerance to dicamba, glyphosate, and glufosinate. And when you use it as part of the Roundup Ready Xtend crop system, which also includes XtendiMax herbicide with vapor grip technology, a restricted use pesticide, these products really enable farmers to form a weed management program based on the individual needs of their farms. And then this allows them choice in herbicide options. XtendFlex soybeans were built on the high-yielding Roundup Ready 2 Xtend soybean technology that growers have really grown to trust. And with tolerance to both dicamba and glyphosate, now with XtendFlex adding in the additional tolerance to glufosinate, just gives them more flexibility, like I said, with that herbicide choice, because no farm is the same, no operation is the same. So this will help them combat those tough to control weeds.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's kind of the same thing of what we were just talking about with Chad, making sure there are multiple modes of action to help you fight weeds on your farm to create the best weed management program that you possibly can. But I know you just mentioned the big thing about XtendFlex is this triple stack trait, which is really exciting for the industry since it's so new. And it's cool to be able to not only have one trait fighting weeds on your farm, but 3. So can you tell us a little bit more about that and what this triple stack makes? How this triple stack makes XtendFlex unique in soybeans?
Yeah. So, so many farmers, I think, define success in their yield, and weeds can negatively impact a farmer's yield. So farmers know the value of staying ahead of those weeds, and applying herbicides with different modes of action will help them do that. Another thing farmers like is clean fields, and genetics definitely have an impact on yield as well. So Bayer's XtendFlex soybeans bring together high yield soybean technology, the triple stack tolerance to allow for more herbicide options. So that really provides farmers with this flexibility that they haven't had before. In 2021, so this past season, we had 67 farmer managed system trials that demonstrated XtendFlex soybeans used as part of the Roundup Ready Extend crop system. And they experienced a 2.5 bushel an acre advantage over Enlist D3. And we also had a 70% win rate with that as well. And when you look at XtendFlex soybeans from a revenue advantage, you're looking at around $23 per acre. So we experienced all of that in our research through these farmer managed system trials. But thinking about like, how is this unique? It offers that flexibility, as I mentioned, for farmers to really choose which herbicide option they want. And that can help tailor their weed management recommendation or their weed management program to their specific farm. And then they can experience their operations' full yield potential.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Brandy. And we actually had an audience question come in for you from Magma Seeds on YouTube. They want to know if XtendFlex was made through selective breeding or is it considered a GMO?
So it is considered a GMO, but that's really all I know how to answer that question. I apologize that I don't know much on the breeding aspect of XtendFlex soybeans.
No, of course, that's perfectly fine. You do come from marketing and not necessarily breeding. So thank you so much for helping us answer that question from Magma Seeds. And hopefully maybe we can find you some other answers later. So now, what makes you excited about XtendFlex? It's a question we asked Chad as well, but I mean, it's an exciting new product. It's been on the market now for a couple of months. What gets you excited about it?
Yeah, so I've been with Bayer for about 8 years, and I've been working on the soybean side in all of my various roles here. And really, when I think about XtendFlex soybeans, this new innovation and new idea is really what's going to help progress farming. And this includes stacked traits, which XtendFlex is. This allows farmers to have multiple traits in the same crop, which is going to help their operations, fight against pests. And XtendFlex soybeans really is the culmination of that innovation and represents Bayer's second major product launch in the last 5 years. In 2021, we launched on 15 million acres, and that really highlights the strength of Bayer's soybean pipeline and the investment that Bayer continues to make in this portfolio with the Roundup Ready Extend crop system. This was just one of the latest examples, and we have others coming down the pipe in the next decade as well. But we're really here to help farmers meet challenges on their farms and help them through that, which is all a big win for agriculture, really. And so XtendFlex was one way that we did that in 2021 and is why I'm so excited for the product.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And one thing I forgot to ask you was, you've mentioned that there are a lot of diseases and pests, especially in soybeans that are coming across. What do you see as being, the biggest threat to soybeans right now that XtendFlex can help address in fields?
Yeah, so those weed pressures that farmers experience are different all across the United States, specific weeds. And XtendFlex soybeans, because it's part of the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, so you can use XtendiMax herbicide with Vapor Grip technology, as I mentioned before, that is going to help you combat some of the toughest weeds. Some examples would be kochia, mare's tail, things like that really give farmers a hard time. And XtendFlex, having that triple tolerance, gives you the option or the opportunity, if you'd like, to use XtendiMax and combat those tough weeds.
Fantastic. Thanks, Brandy. And kind of last question for you as well. Same like we asked for Chad. There is so many technologies out there in ag right now. Again, ranging digital ag is becoming such a big thing. There's so many places you can get data from and things like that. What technology is kind of exciting you about the future of ag?
Yeah, so Bayer, like I said, Bayer is backed by innovation and R&D, and we're actually backed by 25 plus years. So we have a lot of really great things coming out in the next decade for farmers. And although I'm the soy traits marketing manager, I do want to say that Bayer's new corn technologies have me really excited as well. These are going to be game changing, and they include Smart Stacks Pro with RNAi technology and short stature corn. So Smart Stacks Pro with RNAi technology, that was, it'll be commercialized in 2022 with limited volumes and then expanded in 23. But it'll provide 3 modes of action again against corn rootworm, so that you get the strongest biotech defense available. And it'll be the first product with 3 modes of action for corn rootworm control. And corn rootworm, I don't know how much you know about that, but they call that the billion-dollar pest because it really can wreak havoc on a corn crop. So this Smart Stacks Pro with RNAi technology, it'll also combine the proven benefits of Smart Stacks technology with the additional RNAi-based mode of action. So it provides that broad spectrum control for both above ground and below ground pests. And it provides tolerance to glyphosate and glufosinate herbicides. Mm-hmm. The next one, short corn, is exactly what it sounds like. It's a shorter corn plant. And this will benefit farmers by protecting crop yield loss due to increased lodging and green snap. It's going to offer tolerance in high winds and challenging weather conditions, which we've witnessed in the past few years that farmers are experiencing. And farmers will have access all season long for more timely and precise applications of crop protection products and other inputs that they can actually use with their standard ground equipment and experience a yield potential through this increased opportunity. So those 2 corn products coming out are really exciting and just another way that Bayer is proving that we're here to help farmers and really help them with the things they experience on their farms or operations that give them trouble.
Yeah. Hey, just because your specialty is soybeans doesn't mean that you can't get excited about corn innovations too, because there's a lot going on in both worlds of soybeans and corn. And I think it'll be exciting to see what happens in the future of both. But thank you so much, Brandy. That was the last question I had for you. And congratulations again as well for your win of a 10 Most Innovative Product Award. And that is all the time we have today, everyone. So I'd like to give a big round of applause to our last 2 winners of Seed World's 10 Most Innovative Products. Thank you both, Chad and Brandy, for coming on Seed Speaks to talk a little bit more with us about your products. Next week, we are taking a bit of a turn, and we are still going to be talking about innovations that move the needle, but we're going to have Sonia Begeman bring quite a buzzword to chat with about next week in terms of technology: carbon tracking and carbon exchange. It's going to be a conversation you're not going to want to miss. I am really excited about it. She's got some fantastic sources to join us. So make sure you tune in next Wednesday to hear a little bit more about the carbon markets, because it's a question on everyone's mind of what's going to happen with it. So thank you so much, everyone. We hope to see you next week, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.